Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wicked K's podcast, episode 16. I'm Cool Kyle, and with me, as always, is my broski, Rev Cat. Rev, how you doing, my boy?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. I'm just doing fantastic today. I am a happy boy.
Why is that?
Because I'm not dead.
You're not dead. Okay, well, that's a good reason to be happy, boy.
Any day above ground is a good day. At least in my opinion.
You keep bumping into the table, my guy.
This chair,
Maybe you should sit in a chair like me. You have the comfy, office chair, and I'm sitting on a freaking... This just regular, please be seated. You're not really part of the wedding group, but you're still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the only chair I had.
It's okay. It's fine. I'll buy my own chair and bring it over.
Hey.
Set it up.
Hey, you can if you want to.
No, it's all right. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
We've got way too much to talk about today.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw in 2 quick sports items. Just 2.
I know what you're going to talk about.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I saw it on Facebook the other night, so I'm like, oh, okay.
What am I going to talk about?
You're going to talk about the Bruins and how both Bergeron and Krejci have officially been signed.
Also, Pavel Zacha has been signed as well.
That one I didn't see.
That was the same day as the Bergeron and Krejci thing.
Oh, okay. I missed that one. They only showed the Bergeron and Krejci one, so.
Mm-hmm. So Bergeron and Krejci have officially been signed. Bergeron for $2 or $2.5 million with some bonuses thrown in, and Krejci for $1 million, I think, with bonuses thrown in.
Yeah.
So, and then Zacha got signed for $3.5 million or something. So,
Oh, okay.
everybody's signed for the year. We're good to go.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Trades will probably have to be made at some point because unless players are hurt, so we can kind of play around with the LTIR until the playoffs. Because then once that happens, salary cap doesn't matter.
That's true. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all I really have for sports today.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a lot to talk about. And why is that? Because we're going to get into a new segment that I came up with, which I'm very proud of. It's one of the very few segments that sometimes with the two of us, there's kind of a pushback, not necessarily a pushback, but I'll be like, hey, what do you think about this idea? And Kyle's like, I don't really know. It might work. We can try to give it a shot. And same thing over here. But this one I pitched out, and he was like, this is amazing. This is gonna be awesome. We're gonna call it the Do You Remember segment. And it's going to be a reoccurring segment on this show because, as I said, you can stretch the crap out of it. Today, we're going to talk about 90's Nickelodeon. I'm very excited about this. I have my 90's Nickelodeon t-shirt on.
Yeah.
I am here for it. This whole segment will basically just be us talking about our childhood. So we're going to talk about 90's Nickelodeon. Another episode will be about other 90's cartoons. We'll do 90's movies, 90's music, television, sports, fashions, foods, whatever.
Yeah. We're going to take it as far as we can,
We're going to, yeah. At some point, we're going to have a bunch of episodes that we're just going to fill. So that way, if we ever just need to throw an episode out because we can't get together or something, somebody's sick, somebody's on vacation, it's all ready to go. As they would say in showbiz, it's in the can.
Yeah. And I think it's pretty good planning.
I would think that maybe in a couple weeks when we have the pay-per-view, the Clash at the Castle, because it's in the afternoon, so we can watch the pay-per-view, and then after that maybe hammer out some shows.
Yeah. I think we could definitely do that.
Okay.
And it's good to have, especially here in New England with snow and all that.
Oh, yeah. There's going to definitely be times where, and you, like I said, we've talked about it before, you live in the sticks.
What do you mean you can't make it out to my house with 1.5 feet of snow out there?
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm like, I can't even get down your road. So, all right, let's do this. 90's Nickelodeon. Are we saving what's in front of me for the end of the show so we don't have to hammer the point home 50,000 times?
Yeah. I mean, we'll give our information out at the end of the show. Tune in for that, or just scroll to the end if you want to hear it. But we'll save it for the end so that way you guys know all the information. We're, I mean, for the most part, everything on here is the same as last week. So if you listen to last week's show, you got all the information already. Mm-hmm. But just in case you're a first-time listener and for some reason you're starting on episode 16, we'll read it at the end of the show for you.
Well, maybe they were going through and they were like, none of these other episodes, excite me.
What?
90s Nickelodeon. That's my jam.
What, you telling me that SummerSlam doesn't excite somebody?
Some people, as it turns out, Kyle, some people don't like wrestling.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't like.
The Do You Believe?
Maybe they don't like conspiracy theories. Maybe they don't like Disney. I don't know.
Come on. All right, fine. I will accept it.
Hey, you know what? Say what you want. Let's just say that this episode somehow took off and there was like 30 listeners. You'd be like, you know what? I take everything I say back. We're only going to do 90s Nickelodeon for now. We're going to break each episode down.
Oh, God.
Hey, that would really fill a lot of time.
That would fill out a lot
Let's
of time.
just talk 45 minutes about Rocco's Modern Life.
And I'm sure we could, too.
We could definitely do that. Oh, my gosh. All right, let's jump into this.
All right.
Dive in.
So
we're going to start at the beginning with Nick Jr., because when you were a child, you would watch Nick Jr. I don't remember watching... I do remember watching Nick Jr., but I had other shows that I watched, too.
Yeah.
Kind of just one of those things. But, so Nick Jr., it is what it says it is. It's a show for children, for young preschoolers, toddlers.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of slogans here. Let's see. The most notable one that I remember from October of 1998 to September of 2001, which was Nick Jr. is just for me.
Yep, I do remember that one.
Mm-hmm. There's one that says the one before that was TV made just for preschoolers, TV for the next generation, Play to Learn.
I remember Play to Learn, too, yeah.
I do. I remember Nick Jr. is just for me. The very first thing I'm going to bring up about this, do you remember Face?
Oh, of course.
Oh, Face.
Face was the man.
I love Face. Burr, burr, burr.
Yeah.
The busy world of Richard Scarry is next, here on Nick Jr. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Used to love seeing Face.
Oh. Grab my hand and just transport me back in time. My God. Holy crap. I tell people now, I'm like, do you know who Face is? And they were like, who? I'm like, he was like multiple colors. Like he'd be purple, he'd be blue, he'd be green. And he was just literally just a face on a screen. I think he's come back.
I think I've seen him make an appearance.
I've seen him I've seen him make a few appearances. I think he might be on the new Nick Jr. block. I don't know. I could be wrong. I know they have their own channel now. They have their own, like, kind of like how Disney Jr. used to be Playhouse Disney, and then they got their own channel, which, thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. Face was my guy. I loved Face.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was so iconic back, you know.
Face is the best. Who doesn't love Face? All right, so we're going to run through some of these shows here. So... see, so we're here in just trying to see. So we're here in 1993, which would have been when I was 5. We would have been about 5.
That would have been about 5.
So let's see what we got here for shows. There was Muppet Babies. They had reruns of the Muppet Babies because they also had the Muppet Show on there. In 1994. We had, you ready for me to transport you back in time?
Oh, boy.
Gullah Gullah Island.
Dude. Gullah Gullah Island.
Come and let's play together in the bright sunny weather. Let's all go to Gullah Gullah Island. Gullah Gullah. Binya Binya. Oh, man, I told you, this is going to be the most fun episode. One of the most fun ones we do. Oh, goodness gracious. So... those two were married IRL, Ray and Natalie. For those of you who have no idea what the hell we just did, look it up. It's a really great show. It's called Gullah Gullah Island, and it's about these two parents who take care of these, I guess they're kids. I don't know if they're their actual kids. I don't think they are. Maybe one of them, I think one or two of them might have been.
I wouldn't even know.
I don't remember. I remember reading up on Gullah Gullah Island, and there's been YouTube episodes of stuff that I've watched about it, but it was just they would take you on, like they would take you to the park, or they would take you to the zoo, or they would take you to like on a boat tour, and you would go out on the water and do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and the selling point of the show was the frog.
Yes, the yellow frog, Binya Binya, the big
Binya
yellow, not even anthropomorphic, just I don't even know what you would call him.
I mean, it was a dude in a suit.
It was a dude in a suit. Props to you, man, hopping around. Binya.
I would have been hot after a few times hopping around that suit.
Oh, yeah, especially since you probably did a whole bunch of episodes all in one big jumble.
And you had all the lights on you. And
oh, yeah, the lights are on bright, my boy. Also, which premiered was Allegra's Window, which I do remember the show. I don't remember it very fondly.
Neither do I.
I don't say fondly. I just don't remember it very well.
Yeah.
I do know of it, though.
It sounds familiar, but
if you know a 90s kid and you say Gullah Gullah Island, they're going to be like, listen, don't even get me started.
Gullah was my shit.
Oh, yeah. They also got the rights in 95 to The Busy World of Richard Scarry, which I do remember watching that.
Yeah.
Rupert. I do remember Rupert.
Yeah.
And Little Bear.
Oh, Little Bear was another one of my jams. I used to love Little Bear.
I do like Little Bear, yes. And then there was also occasional episodes of The Adventures of Timmy the Tooth.
I think I remember it.
I do remember, like, the show. I don't remember it very well, but I do kind of remember some of the characters. Of course, then the biggest show, September of 96, Blue's Clues aired.
Oh, yeah.
Which,
Blue's Clues.
At that point, you and I were kind of in the cartoon phase. We weren't really, like Nick Jr. was on, but it wasn't in our realm.
I mean, I still watched it, like, you know.
Yeah, I did too, but at that point, we would have been, 8?
Yeah, 8.
Yeah, so, and then in the late 90s and early 2000s, you had Franklin. Kipper.
Yeah.
Maisie.
Yeah.
And Little Bill.
Little Bill. Oh, that was the Bill Cosby one, right?
Little Bill Cosby, yes, Little Bill. Yeah.
I put it in Jello.
And in the summer of 2000, they were running reruns of one of my other favorite shows as a kid, Shining Time Station.
Oh, yeah.
You remember Shining Time Station? So there was George Carlin was the conductor. Didi Khan from Greece was in it as like.
Oh yeah.
And they were at a train station and they would show episodes of Thomas the Tank Engine after.
I love the fact that George Carlin was in like a kid's show, and then you think about him as a stand-up comedian.
Well, if you're gonna go down that route, and we'll obviously talk about this show later in this realm, Full House
with Bob Saget.
Bob Saget, not family friendly. Family friendly in front of the cameras.
Yeah.
Comedy stage, the complete opposite. If you want to talk about a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde,
yeah,
there's a perfect example.
That was like Robin Williams too.
Right.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Kid friendly in front of the camera.
Hey,
but
you know what? You can be kid friendly in front of the camera and make that money. It's all that matters.
That's true.
Well, not necessarily all that matters, but
yeah.
So, I have, like I said, fond memories of. I mean, obviously Gullah Gullah Island. I mean, Jesus.
Oh yeah, that was the biggest one.
That's
I think
the biggest one of the bunch. And then of course Face. I would say Gullah Gullah Island and Face. I do remember Little Bear, Franklin. Yeah.
Yeah. My mom, when we were younger, she used to clean people's houses, and she would take us over, and she would put on, like Franklin, or she would put on Little Bear, and I'd sit there and watch it. So
yeah, I used to be at my aunt's house all the time, and I would do that. Then I transitioned into, well, I'm gonna be here all day, and I don't have anything else better to do. And as I got older, I was like, I'm gonna bring over my PlayStation, and I'll just play my video games. And she didn't care. I just sat there playing my games, and I didn't bother anybody. I was quiet.
Yeah, we did that with the Super Nintendo.
I didn't have siblings. I'm an only child.
Hey, well, me and my sister, as much as I love her, were completely different when we were kids. So she wanted to play with dolls and all that stuff, and I wanted to play with my Super Nintendo. So we didn't actually. I mean, we did interact when my mom was finally like, "Okay, all right, enough Nintendo," and I was like, "Mom, please don't take the Nintendo away."
She was like, "Here, get in trouble and play trouble and pop, pop, pop." Jesus.
Oh yeah.
All right, now we're getting into this is 1990s Nickelodeon original programming. So we're just gonna run through the list, and you tell me if you remember the show or not. And then during this run, we're going to do 1 through 10, and you and I are gonna try to make a list that can be agreed upon. I'm gonna be pretty flexible with this. I'm not really gonna be like, this show needs to be number 1. I'm
going to be a little flexible too.
Yeah. So let's start at the beginning. Like I said, there's only 68 of these. These won't take long.
Yeah. Do you want me to write down top contenders right here?
Yeah.
As we're going through, and then we'll
Yeah.
stick and put where they need to go.
Leading off, 100 Deeds for Eddie McDowd.
Nah, I'm not gonna put that on the list.
Do you remember that show?
No.
It was basically about a boy who turned into a dog and needed to do 100 good deeds in order to turn back into a boy or something. Or it was a dog that turned something like that. It was either a boy that turned into a dog or a dog that turned into a boy. I think it was a dog that turned into a boy, and then he had to do 100 good things in order to turn back into the other thing. I don't remember. I didn't watch it. I remember the commercials for it. I didn't watch it.
Okay.
Let's go to the letter A.
Okay.
Real monsters.
All right.
I currently have Ickis, Crumb, and Oblina on my shirt. I also have on my shirt Cat Dog, Reptar, Arnold and Gerald, Rocco, Filbert, and Heifer, Ren and Stimpy, and Helga, and Spunky, and Norbert and Daggett.
Nice.
The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Now, this might be controversial because I did not watch that.
I didn't either. Pete and Pete was one of those shows that was on. I was talking to my mom about this yesterday because I told her to listen to this episode. Hi, Mom. Love you. The Adventures of Pete and Pete were kind of like, it was on like usually like Sunday afternoons at like 4 or 5, and it was kind of like winding out the week. So it would just be on like in the afternoon, like usually in the middle of the like Sunday or something. Yeah, I do remember it, and I will say you can find the theme song "Hey Sandy" by the band Polaris on Spotify. It's a really good song. I do like that song.
Oh, okay.
It's a really great song.
Yeah, I never watched the show.
I watched it a couple times. I wasn't a huge fan of it.
So I'm gonna leave that one off the list then.
That's fine.
If you're cool with it.
This one, it's not a cartoon, but it has to be on the list. It's All That.
Oh yeah.
All That, for those of you who do not know, was basically a kid version of Saturday Night Live. Before you knew about Saturday Night Live, you knew about All That. And for a show in the 90s, it did pretty damn good. And there was a lot of big names that did come out of it. Kel Mitchell was on All That. Kenan Thompson was on All That. You had Lori Beth Denberg. You had Josh Server. Danny Tamborelli, who was also on The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Was Amanda Bynes?
Amanda Bynes was on it. Ask Ashley. Oh, my God. You remember that segment?
I do, yeah.
And then, of course, the guests, too. Like, they had... I mean, TLC at that time was big in the 90s. They did the theme song, which then you can also find that on Spotify.
Yeah.
What else? I know Chris Farley did an episode of All That.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he did.
He did.
A lot of famous people.
There was an episode with I think it was like a cooking show they did, and I think it was I think her name's Angelique or Angelica Bates. I think her name was, and Keenan, and they would do this like cooking show with Randy and Mandy. Do you remember that? Or Randy and Dandy or something like that.
Oh, actually, yeah, I think I do.
And they added chocolate to everything.
Yes,
chocolate. So there was an episode where they brought in this chef or whatever, and it was Chris Farley, and he wanted to add ketchup to everything.
Oh,
you know what
yes.
would go great with this? Ketchup. Yeah,
I do remember that.
Yeah,
man.
I have a good memory. It's one of the very few segments that I remember. Vital Information with Lori Beth Denberg for
I do remember that.
Everyday Life. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Trying to think of the other. Oh, and then of course the Ask Ashley segment with Amanda Bynes, which was this seemingly sweet and innocent girl named Ashley who would read letters from fans or people on her bed, and they would be the most ridiculous, over the top stuff, and then she would be like, "Hey, why don't you go and take a shoe and whack yourself upside the head with it?"
I do remember that.
Oh my God, she would just
she
go on and
lose it.
Man. Oh, my goodness. So good. So good. All right. As we said, Allegra's Window was already talked about.
Yeah.
Speaking of Amanda Bynes, The Amanda Show.
I do remember The Amanda Show.
Had Drake and Josh. And, of course, that spun off to an old... It's nice how there were different spin-offs of things.
Yeah. Well, because that's what they did back in the 90s is like if something was working,
of course,
they had to give it its own show.
That's the formula for anything. I mean...
True.
I mean, Family Guy did so well. Let's do a spinoff of American Dad. American Dad did well. Let's try to do the Cleveland Show. Cleveland Show didn't do well. Let's go back and just do American Dad.
Oh, yeah.
Family Guy.
I don't know if the Amanda Show should be on this.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, we only got 10 spots.
Well, and I wouldn't really classify it as 90s. Like, it was late 90s, early 2000s. Like, you're talking Our Real Monsters was like mid-90s.
Yeah.
All that
like
was
mid-90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one better be on here or I'm going to fight you.
What's that?
It's the Angry Beavers.
Oh, yeah. Angry Beavers has to be on there.
Love the Angry Beavers. Norbert and Daggett just doing daggy-do things.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they have to be on there. That was
Norbert, the very cool, chilled out. What color would we call him? Yellow? Orange? Yellow.
Yeah, yellow.
Yellow beaver. And Daggett, his
Very angry.
brown, maroon, very angry brother. Get into all kinds of crazy calamity. And Daggett usually took the brunt of the beatings
Yeah.
when things got crazy. But I do remember an episode where Norbert did something and Daggett held him to it, and I guess he had to like do whatever Daggett said for like the day. And Daggett could never beat him in this race that they had, where they basically had like suction cups that were like attached to the bottom of the bikes, and they would they're like their bicycles, and they would just go around in circles, and they did like a race, and like 500 laps in this race, and then midnight came up, and then Norbert was like, "Well, it's after midnight. I mean, you're not in charge of me anymore." And then there was a big race at the end. And it ended in really bad
Oh, jeez.
fashion, but
The classic.
I do love me that. Animorphs. I don't. Again, that's.
It's one of those ones like, yeah, maybe you've seen it, but I don't think
I have seen it. I do remember the theme song and stuff. I just wasn't a big fan of the show.
Yeah.
It was good. It was
Yeah.
all right. Basically, Animorphs. It's exactly what it sounds like. It was kids who had the power to turn into animals. There was a book series on it.
Yeah, I mean, it was an okay show. Like, yet again, if we're going top 10 of 90s of all time here.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I don't know if this one's going to make the list. I feel like it should, though. It's recently come back as a reboot, but you can never top the original. The ultra scary Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes, yeah, we got to put that in there.
Which was 10 times scarier than the Goosebumps show that they used to have on in the 90s. And Are You Afraid of the Dark was a bunch of kids that sat around a campfire. They were called the Midnight Society. And one of the kids would tell a story, and they'd grab a handful of sand and throw it on the fire. And
Stories would commence.
And they'd be about weird, evil clowns or monsters in the closet or something.
Yeah, some creepy.
And I've gone back and I said, you know what? As a small child, this would have scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older, I'm totally down for it.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, I read about it. Most of those episodes were filmed in BC, I guess, British Columbia.
Oh, I didn't know that. Huh.
So, Are You Afraid of the Dark and all that are going to be part of a series that we're going to talk about in a little bit. Actually, we'll just say it now. It's part of SNICK. What is SNICK? It's Saturday Night Nickelodeon. And there was a block of programming, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
How are we doing on time?
I don't know, 20 minutes already.
I don't really care how long the show goes this week. We're just going to have fun with it.
Yeah.
These two you can probably omit from the B section. The Big Help, which was just Nickelodeon's way of trying to help save the planet and save everything. Recycling.
Most people were doing that back then.
Yeah, that was their slogan. It's do the big help and go out and.
It's like I was watching an episode of Rocko's Modern Life last night, and they were doing the one where
they cleaned up
global warming.
Oh.
And they made a whole song out of it.
RECYCLE recycle.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
CONSERVE conserve. Don't you POLUTE to pollute the ocean water streams, or you will get what you deserve. That episode's called Zanzibar.
Yeah, I'm surprised you remember that.
Of course I do. I fucking love Rocco. Also on the B side was Blue's Clues, but that is not going to go on the list.
Yeah, we'll leave that off for now.
Cat Dog.
Ooh, Cat Dog. I think
One fun day with a wolf and a purr. Cat Dog is exactly what it sounds like. It is a cat and a dog put together. Why? I don't know why. Don't ask questions.
Somebody thought it was a good idea, and it turned out to be a good idea.
It was a pretty good idea, yeah. Cat Dog. I liked Cat Dog.
Yeah.
Wasn't my favorite show. I don't know if it'll make the top 10, but I certainly liked it.
Yeah.
Clarissa Explains It All.
Ooh, Clarissa Explains It All.
I liked Clarissa. It was good. Her nerdy brother Ferguson and Melissa Joan Hart tried to help us as young adults or teenagers to try to get through life.
Yeah.
And then she had her friend Sam, who you just would always smack the ladder up against her window and climb into her window. And that seems kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Her window was always open, and Sam would always just show up. I'm thinking about that. That sounds a little sketch.
That is a little sketch. Somebody just climbing up into your window.
Can you imagine right now if like this window right here was open and it just like went like this, and there was always that same like riff or whatever.
Yeah.
When he would like the ladder would hit and then you'd be like, here, hey Sam, you hear, every time.
Yeah.
But hey, if you were in the kitchen and you heard it, you were like, oh, Sam's on. And you gotta... Also, Cousin Skeeter, which Cousin Skeeter was voiced by Bill Bellamy, which was a puppet or a whatever.
Yeah.
It was an alright show. Doesn't need to be on the list though.
Yeah, I don't think so.
There's a couple of shows here that I'm gonna I'll say them, but they're not gonna be on the list. There's a 1981 TV series called Danger Mouse that was apparently on 90's Nick programming. I do not remember that show. There was also a show that's called Don't Just Sit There. I do not remember that show either.
Don't remember that.
However, the next two could potentially be on the list, and that is the ultra awesome game show Double Dare.
Oh, Double Dare.
Which went off into several crazy segments. There was Double Dare, there was Family Double Dare, there was Double Dare 2000. Super awesome, mega sloppy, cool, righteous, amazing, fantastic Double Dare.
Yeah.
Mark Summers, fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Double Dare was the ultimate kids game show where you got to basically go through an obstacle course to the end of it if you won, and there would be a bunch of just crazy tasks and stuff you had to do. Then they would ask you pretty generic, run-of-the-mill questions.
Yeah.
And you could either play with you. Sometimes you would be paired with somebody else. They might have a celebrity paired with you. You might just do Family Double Dare where it's like, your mom, your dad, and then your two siblings or you and your sibling or something.
Oh, yeah.
So,
but that was the epitome of, like, the game show in the 90s.
That wasn't the one that I wanted to be on. We'll get to eventually.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't that one. Actually,
okay.
Hold on a minute.
At least to me it was.
Okay. Fair enough. Doug.
Oh, yeah, I got to put Doug on there.
My best friend that I've known for years, Amanda Marino, you know her well.
Yeah.
She says that there are some times that I sound like Doug. So I'll look at her and I go, Dear Journal, today was a great day. Pork chop, Skeeter, Roger.
Oh, yeah.
Chalky Studebaker, Patty Mayonnaise.
Patty Mayonnaise.
Mr. Dink.
Oh, man.
Bluffington. Don't be a sucker. Vote for me. I do like Doug. I had a Doug doll it was just like his regular outfit, and the rest of it was like soft. His head was like hard as a rock because it was like made of like a thick plastic or something, and they had like little spikes for his hair. And I also had a little pork chop,
like a stuffed animal?
It was like a stuffed animal, but it was like almost like a Beanie Baby kind of material.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, and I remember bringing it through the airport with me, and Doug's head got stuck because it was. I found old pictures the other day, and I was going through them, and there's a picture of me sleeping, and Doug is right next to me.
Oh, that's funny. Very cool.
Eureka's Castle.
I do remember that one. It won't make the list, but I do remember that one very well.
All right, there's a TV series called 15. I do not remember.
Don't remember that.
Figure It Out. I don't know if it's going to make the list, though.
It was a good show, but...
Summer Sanders.
Yeah.
Love me some. You know what I was thinking about, too? And this goes for all 90s Nickelodeon shows. The prizes that you would get were the most random fucking prizes ever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you do Figure It Out. So, basically, Figure It Out, for those of you who don't know. First off, Figure It Out. No, I'm just kidding. No, Figure It Out was basically a show where there would be either a boy or a girl, or maybe, like friends or something, and they would have some crazy achievement or accolade or something that they could do where, some girl could, like, hula hoop at, like, 100 hula hoops, or some kid could, like, shoot a bow and arrow with his foot or something like that.
Yeah.
And there'd be a celebrity panel. A lot of the times, like, when it first came on, it was basically people from...
Like all that.
All that and stuff, yeah. And you would have to guess on... What was his name? Billy?
Yes,
was
Billy.
His name Billy?
Yeah.
It was like the picture board or whatever that they had.
Yeah.
And you could only ask yes and no questions. And then if you got a word right, you would hear like these trumpets, and it was like, burr, 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 burr. And you'd be like, you got a word. And then there'd be some clues you would get. And then if you had the issue, and then if there was one part where you might randomly get slimed, and you're just sitting there and you have to grab the thing, and oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was a good show, but
it was a good show. And then like the prizes, like I was saying, like the first prize you'd get would be like, you're gonna get the brand new, like JVC like camcorder, and you're gonna get headphones, and
And as a kid, you're like,
Yeah.
ooh, that's fun.
Get the bike from Spin Master. Oh God.
Oh, jeez.
So, there's a game show here. It's called Get the Picture. Don't remember that.
I kind of remember
vaguely
it.
remember it. Grimm's Fairy Tale Classics. No, don't remember it. Gullah Gullah Island.
I mean,
Is Gullah Gullah going in the top 10? I mean, you got to put it on the list of contenders.
yeah.
I mean,
I don't know how to spell Gullah.
Gulllah.
Yeah.
And you just got to put it. You can just put Gullah. I would just put Gullah times 2 and then just put Island. Or you can do it that way too. I was going to say, if you have like Clarissa Explains It All, I said the word Gullah Gullah Island and we literally broke into theme song.
Yeah.
So I feel like it might be at the bottom of the list.
It's going to be somewhere in there.
It's going to be somewhere in there.
I think the decision's going to be tough because there are a lot of good shows.
Oh, there's going to be a lot. And we're only at H. We got a long way to go. So I'm
yeah.
going to try to speed this up a bit. Hey Arnold.
Oh, yeah, that's got to be on there too.
My mom's all-time favorite Nickelodeon show. Very depressing show when you look back on it.
Oh, yeah.
Arnold's parents died. He lived with his grandparents. He lived in a boarding house. The city wasn't like chaotic where he lived, but it definitely showed you like kids like Rhonda who were like upper class, and then you had people like maybe like Helga who was like middle class or whatever.
Yeah.
And there was definitely a hierarchy, and
yeah, like it did touch on those certain things.
I know there was an episode with she came in towards the tail end of the show, Lila.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Lila. She was adorable.
But I will say this much. When you look back at Hey Arnold, didn't you want his broom?
Oh, yeah.
His
He had a
room was-
remote control for his whole room.
Yeah, and he had the freaking skylight. Like
He had
you
the
could look-
skylight. Yeah.
Ah, man, I would love a room like that.
That'd be fantastic. That'd be great.
It's amazing.
But, I mean, Arnold was basically a kid with a good heart, and if there was wrongdoing being done, he tried to do the best that he could to try to fix it. Didn't always work out.
No.
You know what the other H1 is? It also starts with hey, and it goes, hey, dude.
Hey, dude. I do remember that. I don't know if it should make the list, but
I would say there's other shows I would put on over it, but I do appreciate Hey Dude. Hey Dude was basically a show about a bunch of kids working on a dude ranch. Hey Dude, and
Hey, dude.
it's a good show. Good theme song, too.
Yeah.
And what is her name? Oh, my God. She's married to Ben Stiller. What is her name? Christine Taylor. She was on Hey Dude.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that.
Oh. You don't remember her or you don't remember the show? You remember the show, you said, right?
Barely.
She was the cute blonde on the show.
Oh, okay.
So you have to go back and watch it. And I'll be like, see, that's her right there. See? The Journey of Alan Strange. All right. I apologize for everybody's eardrums right now. I'm going to give you a moment to turn the volume down.
Because pull it back then. Pull it back if you're going to do something.
I have to do this loud.
All right, go ahead.
Kablam!
Okay. Pulled the mic far enough back, I think. Peaked a little bit. I think we should be all right.
Sorry, it was the Friday night cartoon show Kablam with Henry and June, which featured such classics as Prometheus and Bob, Action League Now, The Offbeats, and Life with Loopy.
I do remember that.
I very, very much remember this show. And Action League Now, starring The Flesh, he's super strong and super naked. Thunder
Yes.
Girl, she flies like thunder. Stinky Diver, a former Navy commander with an attitude as bad as his odor. And Melt Man, with the power to melt.
I do remember that.
Then there was Prometheus and Bob, which was basically about a alien
And a caveman, right?
trying to do experiments on a caveman. Life with Loopy was a very loopy
Unique
show.
Yeah.
But it was basically about a girl who got into random. It started out with her brother, Larry. Larry here. Loopy did some weird shit and somehow like got herself microscopically small and went into my stomach to like pull out a potato chip that got lodged in there or some weird shit.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that. Is it going to make the list?
Kablam?
Do you want it to make the list?
No, I just wanted to do Kablam!
Oh, okay.
But the next show will definitely make it on the list because, here it goes. It's Keenan and Kel.
Keenan and Kel. Yeah.
With Coolio theme song. Oh, Keenan and Kel, good shot. Good shit. Keenan and Kel was a spinoff. Those two got a spinoff from being on All That.
Yes.
And who loves orange soda?
Kel loves orange soda.
And only a 90s kid would know that.
Is it true?
I do. Do you remember where Keenan worked?
Yes, it was a supermarket.
Called?
Oh, I don't remember the name of the supermarket.
Rigby's.
Rigby's, that's right. Yep. Okay. That's an unlocking memory right there.
Yeah. So Kel was kind of the goofy one of the group. Keenan was more the serious one. Keenan always had some weird. Oh, that was their thing on the show too, where Keenan always had an idea of some weird, crazy shit to happen, and Kel would be like, "I don't know if this is a good idea," and he would just be like, "Nope, come along with me." So there'd be like the end of the show, and Keenan would be like, "I got an idea. Get a life raft, a bowl of spaghetti, and a cheese grater, and meet me outside in 5 minutes." And Kel would be like, "Kaden, we're not even in the water. What do we need a life raft for? Kaden, I don't even want spaghetti. I'm not hungry. Kaden, what are you going to do with a cheese grater? Kaden, here it goes." And
I remember that. Yeah, that was pretty good.
It would be the most like random stuff. And Keenan would always call him some like weird name. So he'd say all this stuff and he'd be like, "Come on now, Chili Willy." And he'd be like, what? Good stuff.
That was a great show.
The next one is Kids Pick the President. Definitely not going to make our top 10.
No.
This one, though, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh, that has to. Yeah.
Oh, God. Rant incoming. Not even a rant. So, Legends of the Hidden Temple, game show. Olmec, who was a stone-faced figure, would talk to you about these different, I guess, historical things that happened. And Kurt Fogg? Yeah, Kurt Fogg was his name. He was the host. And these kids would do these challenges. And there was 6 teams?
Yeah. 6 teams,
right,
2 kids per team.
Yeah, I got to remember this now. Hold on. Red Jaguars.
Yeah.
Purple Parrots.
Mm-hmm.
Silver Snakes.
Yeah.
Orange Iguanas. Blue Barracudas. And Silver Monkeys?
No, not Silver Monkeys.
Not Silver Monkeys. No, there's some silver. Hold on, I remember now. Red Jaguars, Orange Iguanas, Green Monkeys.
Green Monkeys, yes.
Blue Barracudas, Purple Parrots, Silver Snakes. That was it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty sure. I might have to look this up now because I don't want to get this wrong. I'm going to be really mad if I get it wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just basically.
It was probably one of the more adventurous game shows.
It was kind of. As this says by the as is described by somebody from the Orlando Sentinel, it's a combination of Raiders of the Lost Ark and Jeopardy.
Yeah, hey.
Which is pretty much a pretty fair.
Yeah, because they used to do like intellectual stuff. They would do trivia and questions, but then they would also make you do something where you had to like climb a rock wall and like do some.
So yeah, there was the Red Jaguars, the Blue Barracudas, the Green Monkeys, the Orange Iguanas, Purple Parrots, and Silver Snakes.
You got it right. Yeah,
I did. So. Each segment, like you said, so the round one would be the moat, which you'd have your 2 teams, and it was usually boy and girl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I think that's how it always was. I think it was. You had to have one of each.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you had maybe like 2 boys together, but I think normally it was a boy and a girl to kind of even it out.
Yeah.
So the one would be the moat. So one player would be on one side, one player would be on the other side, and you'd have to do some way to get through, and then. The first 4 teams to cross would make it to the next round, which would be known as the Steps of Knowledge. Now, I know it's been a long, long time since you've seen this before. I know I've talked to you about this before. Do you ever notice that between the kids being in the moat and being in the water, when both kids were pretty much in the water and they were soaking wet, then they went to the Steps of Knowledge and they are completely bone dry?
Oh, yeah, because at that point, they filmed each segment and gave them time between.
Do you know how long they gave to them? An hour.
Oh my god.
They would have. So I watched the video on this. Everybody would do the moat. So let's say they did 6 or 7 episodes that day. Round 1 would go. All the team, because they were filming it in front of a studio audience at Nickelodeon Studios.
Yeah.
When that was a thing. Everybody would do the first round of the moat. Then all the teams would one by one go back. You'd have an hour in the green room to chill out. Now you come back for the Steps of Knowledge. Then you're done with the Steps of Knowledge. Then you do the Temple Games. Then you're done with the Temple Games. Then your particular show does the run-through.
Yeah.
At the end, the Temple Run. So the steps of knowledge were basically like 4 or 5 steps. You'd have to answer questions, and you'd click on like a thing with your foot, and it would light up, and you could answer the question if you knew what the. And basically, you had to listen to what Olmec said to you, because whatever was there was in the thing. So he would tell you a story. You had to sit there and pay attention. So if you're not paying attention, you're not going to get the questions right.
Yeah.
Then so it would go from 6 to 4, 4 to 2. The 2 teams would battle in the temple games, and then which would be some random game involving whatever that particular show was about, a headdress or a feather or something, or whatever. And then you get to the temple run, and in the temple games, you could also win pendants that would save you, because if you got caught by a temple guard, which holy shit,
dude, they would pop out of a fucking stone wall.
So they had these temple guards or whatever that, like, if you're going through and you didn't have a pendant to give to him, a half pendant was a half a life, and the full pendant was a full life. So if you gave him a full pendant, you would be, or whatever, you'd be able to go without being taken.
Yeah.
Mind you, your teammates waiting for you. The Shrine of the Silver Monkey was,
oh, dude,
for some reason
they couldn't figure the shit out.
Literally the most difficult thing ever to do, and I don't understand why.
They were trying to do.
It was 3 pieces.
It was 3 pieces.
It was the bottom, it was the head, and it was the middle. And they had to put it on a certain way. And I'm jumping up and down. I don't know if you did.
I did, yeah.
I'm jumping up and down. You're doing it. Turn the head around. Oh my god.
Yeah.
My dad's like, calm down. It's just a show. He's not putting the monkey's head on right. Oh my god.
Yeah, and I'm space brained, and even I was sitting there going, "How the hell do you not get this right?"
I know.
Like, I mean, I understand you're like 10, but still, for the love of God, it's easy.
So, that's us ranting about Legends of the Hidden Temple. Moving on. Let's speed this up a little bit.
Oh,
Little Bill, not on the list.
No.
Make the Grade, never heard of it.
No.
Mina and the Count, never heard of it.
No.
Mr. Wizard's World, I have heard of Mr. Wizard's World. It was a science show. It was a very good show. Not going to make the list. The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo.
No.
I've heard of it. Not going to make the list. Natalie's Backseat Traveling Web Show. Not going to make the list. This one may not make the list for you, but it would make my list. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. It's time for Nick Arcade.
I do remember Nick Arcade. You're right. It won't make my list, but it was a good show.
Nick Arcade was basically kids being able to play in arcade games somehow. Like, it was ahead of his time for a game.
Oh, yeah.
For a show. Nickelodeon All-Star Challenge. No. Nick News with Linda Ellerby.
I do remember that.
Which was about basically, current events and topics, and that was also another part of the Big Help thing.
Yeah.
This one, though, better make your list because it was the game show I wanted to be on, and that's Guts.
Oh, no, that definitely.
Mike O'Malley, the most insane man in the world. I love Mike O'Malley. Mike O'Malley is the best.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to you, Mike O'Malley. You are fantastic. We got these kids. This guy, that's the Crusher. He's running through. This kid's a monster. Oh, such a good hype man. He's so good.
Oh, yeah.
So, Guts, and of course, Mo. Got to pass it off to Mo, who was the referee.
That's right, yeah.
So it was very athletic show.
Yeah.
I don't really know what you would compare it to.
Well, I mean, it depends. Like, I mean, it was
kind of like a kid, maybe like a Kid Olympics kind of thing.
Kind of, maybe like a what do they call that now these days? Like a Ninja Gladiator or whatever.
Oh, Ninja Warrior thing.
A Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, it was kind of like a predated.
Like
Ninja
a children's Ninja Warrior.
I would say more like young adult because these kids were like 10 or 13 when they were on.
Oh, it's true. Yeah. So like a young
you
adult.
had a blue, a red, and a purple player, and the first run or first iteration of Guts was just Nickelodeon Guts, and you would have 3 kids. Like I said, you have 3 kids. 2 boys and a girl, 2 girls and a boy. There was usually at least one member of different sexes was represented. Like I said, could be 2 and 1 or 1 and 2, whatever. Excuse me. They'd go through 4 games. Usually 2 of them were jumping off of like platforms and trying to make a basket with a basketball or throwing a football. Then there'd be one where you had to like ride a bike or something. Then there'd be like maybe a swimming one.
Yeah.
And then whoever had the points would go from, I think you got 350 for first, 200 for second, and 100 for third. And then based off of that, I think you got to use, I don't remember, it's been so long. I think you got a head start, maybe, based off on how many points you had. I don't quite remember. I'd have to go back and look.
Mm.
And we got a lot of shit to still talk about.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Yeah.
Although, actually, we're kind of getting through all of this right here in one big chunk.
Yeah, it makes
which
sense.
is night, so that's not so bad. But yeah, so you would get to the end and you would play for the, bro, I wish I had one of these, the Aggro Crag.
The aggro crag.
Which was this green, like, luminescent,
monstrosity.
actually not even luminescent, fluorescent. Green fluorescent monstrosity that was like jagged and stuff. And these kids would go up this mountain, which was called the Aggro Crag. And there would be like boulders that would come down on them, and they would like hit an actuator button. Then you had to hit 8 actuators, I think it was.
Yeah.
And there'd be like confetti spraying all over the place and there's smoke going everywhere. Dude, it looked awesome. It was amazing.
Yeah, it looked pretty fun.
And most of the kids came up with nicknames. So, they could have like Kyle the Crusher or,
Cool Kyle
or whatever. And each kid would talk about their background. They played basketball, they were in gymnastics, they did fencing, and they did something.
Yeah.
Then the next iteration of Guts became Global Guts, and they had kids from different parts of the world coming. So there were kids from the United States, Canada, Brazil, England, wherever.
Yeah.
I loved Guts.
Guts, like I said, I've watched it. I like it. That's why I think it should make this list.
I had the Nickelodeon Guts video game on Super Nintendo, and that game was nightmare fuel for me because I used to get so frustrated trying to play it.
Oh yeah, I've seen people play it online before. It's a tough game.
It is a very tough game. Oh, Nickelodeon Guts.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Mom. We used to love watching Guts. We'd pick who we thought was going to win by the color by the first game, and then we would just like hope for the best. Nickelodeon Launchbox. Have not heard of that.
Nope.
The Offbeats, which, like I said, was part of Kablam, which was just a bunch of cool kids. Not necessarily cool kids, but just a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Just kind of chilling out. They're the Offbeats.
Yeah.
Oh Yeah Cartoons. I do remember it. Wasn't a big fan of it.
Same here.
Out of Here. Never heard of it.
No.
Oh, boy. The letter R. There's a lot of good R's on here.
Yeah.
The Ren and Stimpy Show.
Ren and Stimpy. Oh, yeah.
With Powdered Toast Man. I have a Powdered Toast Man.
Oh, yeah. Stimpy, you idiot.
Stimpy, you idiot. Oh, Ren. Come here, Ren. Yeah, Stimpy.
Dude, I used to have a Ren and Stimpy game for Super Nintendo. I probably still have it. The fucking, they had this one level where you had to run through the teeth.
Oh, Jesus.
And you had, because there was like this whole thing, and you had to like avoid like the teeth coming down, and like the tonsils would come out and get you, and like, it was some crazy LSD bullshit that you had to watch. It was nuts. But it was a good show.
Ren and Stimpy, probably the most controversial show that was put on Nickelodeon for a while.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
It
was very risque.
Log. Remember the Log
the
song?
Log, yeah.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I do remember Log.
Yeah.
It's Log, it's fun for a girl. Oh my God. All right, the next one. Now, I feel like it has to be included, and I want it to like go far up the board for our top 10, but it's kind of like late 90s, but I love it because it's Rocket Power.
Rocket Power.
I love Rocket Power.
Well, we'll put it here.
Ugh.
We'll see where it goes.
Rocket Power, 4 friends from Ocean Shores, Twister, Otto, Reggie, and Sam. Playing alternative sports that wasn't really shown. There was kids skateboarding, rollerblading, snowboarding, surfing, roller hockey.
Yeah.
And that was my shit. I love roller hockey, man.
Oh yeah. And me, even like I wasn't a very like athletically inclined kid when I was young. I didn't do a ton. I did sports. I did a little bit of karate and stuff like that. But Rocket Power is one of those shows that even though I wasn't like heavy into sports, I still really enjoyed.
Well, it was smart by Nickelodeon to do that because at that point in the late 90s, that's when kind of like a bit of a boom happened for skateboarding and stuff because you had the Tony Hawk games out.
Yeah.
And the X Games was a huge thing. I mean, it was bigger. I mean, it still goes around, but I don't really watch the X Games as much as I used to.
No.
Like, I used to look forward to watching the X Games and watching Skateboard Big Air and seeing Bucky Lasek, Bob Burnquist, Chad Muska, whoever.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk, all of those people. And if you tell me Rocket Power's on, I'm down.
Oh yeah.
If you texted me randomly and you were like, I don't know what you're doing, but I just got the DVD box set of Rocket Power, I'll be over in 5 minutes. I will sit and binge watch every episode of Rocket Power, and then I'll do it again.
I bet there is somewhere where you can get it.
Oh, I know there probably is. Hopefully legally. I'll do it. I mean, nowadays though, I think you can get all the episodes on Paramount Plus, so I'll just do it that way.
Yeah.
So
that makes more sense.
it does. Guess what's about after Rocket Power?
Rocco?
Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah, I had a feeling RO.
Mm-hmm. I would just put RML if you want. I mean, you can write the whole thing out. It doesn't
I'm
matter.
just gonna do Rocco. So I know.
Rocco's Modern Life, probably the second most. That's CKO.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Good as new. Rocco was a wallaby. Heifer was a cow who was with a family of wolves. Why? Don't ask questions.
Yeah.
Filbert was like my friend Kyle here. Not like turned up to 100, turned up to like 20.
Okay, I'll accept that.
20. I'll even 15. 15.
All right.
I'll do 15.
Like there's some stuff in there.
There is some stuff in there, yeah.
I'm a little bit like everybody.
Yeah. Turn the page, wash your hands. Turn the page. And basically Rocco's Modern Life was Rocco going through these very ridiculous scenarios that would probably never happen, like being scammed into buying this vacuum for $100 that literally sucked up everything in his house, sucked the water of the universe dry, and basically just like dehydrated the entire planet.
Yeah.
His dog Spunky would get into all kinds of ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
As we were talking before the show, a lot of sexual innuendos, and the most obvious one, the restaurant that they used to frequent, the Choky Chicken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't guess where that came from.
Choky Chicken. Yeah. And not to mention the episode where Rocco was trying to find a new job and became a phone sex operator and had a segment with his neighbors who were nematodes, right?
Yeah.
Were they nematodes?
Yeah, the nematodes, yeah.
The big heads?
Yeah, the big heads.
Mr. and Mrs. Big Head.
Yeah.
And Rocco was talking and said, "Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby." To which Mrs. Big Head said, "Rocco," and he went, "Mrs. Big Head," and they both hung up. Yeah. And probably my favorite Rocco episode, which is Wacky Deli. Do you remember the Wacky Deli episodes?
I don't think so.
So the Big Heads had a son named Ralph, and Ralph made these really weird cartoons and stuff that were really popular, and then he wanted to do like art and stuff. So he didn't want to be in the show business anymore. So he told Rocco, Heifer, and Filbert to make their own show. Well, they came up with a show called Wacky Deli, and Rocco made a piece of cheese. Filbert made salami. No, Filbert made cheese. Betty Bologna was made by Rocco, and then Heifer made salami.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was just this weird, over-the-top show where it was Wacky Deli, yeah, Wacky Deli, yeah. You got to go watch this episode. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh, geez.
I am the cheese. I am better than the bologna and the salami combined. I hate bologna.
Oh,
and they're
geez.
just like, oh, what a beautiful day. And it was just the most crash and burn, but it worked. And Ralph couldn't figure out why. Oh, my God.
That's an interesting episode.
He tried to sabotage the show and like cut it half off, and it would still do good. He did a thing where there was like mayo and just a picture of mayo on screen for like 10 minutes, and it still did well because it was Wacky Deli. We'll have to watch it after.
Geez. Yeah,
sure
I'll
we
have
can
to
find it.
Yeah.
Oh, Wacky Deli, great show.
That's awesome.
Roundhouse, which I don't know if you remember Roundhouse. So Roundhouse was part of the original Snick lineup, which I'll try to see if I can find the original Snick lineup before we're done. It then got replaced by All That. So it was like All That before All That. It was basically a variety show for kids.
Oh, okay.
And then after Roundhouse, the Rugrats.
Oh, Rugrats got to go on there, yeah.
Now, I will say, this is my hot take of this episode. One of my hot takes. Rugrats, pre-Rugrats movie was the best Rugrats.
Yes, I agree.
Die on that hill. I will fight you to the death. if you disagree with me.
I don't
The
think
new Rugrats that they have out, they have new episodes of Rugrats that are like 3D animated and stuff.
No.
No, get it
No.
out of here. It's creepy looking. Go away.
No, the original Rugrats with that like pencil drawn cartoon sort of stuff.
Well, even after they did the Rugrats movie, and I got to tell you this, and I'm embarrassed to tell you this, and I don't know why it took me so long to figure out. What's the name of Tommy's brother?
Dill
And what's the last name of their family?
Pickles.
So his name is
Dill Pickles.
Yeah. Why that took me so long to figure out, and I mean like within the last couple years it took me to figure out.
Wow.
To where Rebecca told me, and she's like, "You didn't realize that?" And I was like, "Dill, oh, that's funny." And she was like, "You're just now realizing this." And I'm like,
"Oh my god.
Why did that never click with me as a child?"
Because you didn't think about it. Maybe you didn't always eat dill pickles, you know? It's like
Even so though.
That's funny though that you didn't realize that.
I didn't realize that. Do you remember all the characters? You know all the kids? All the names of the kids?
Most of them. I remember obviously Tommy.
Pickles.
There's Chucky. Phil
Chucky.
and Lil.
Charles Crandall Finster.
Yeah. Angelica.
Phil and Lil DeVille.
Yep. And then Angelica
Pickles.
I remember the parents for the most part.
Stu and Dee Dee.
Stu and Dee Dee.
Chaz. Betty and Howard, which... Let's discuss Betty and Howard for a minute.
They were unique, huh?
Well, Betty was... I'm going to try to be nice when I say this. Betty was kind of like a lesbian, but wasn't a lesbian. And Howard was kind of like gay, but he wasn't gay. Because he was very effeminate and like it was basically like roles reversed. Like Betty was the man and Howard was the woman. Which listen, I have no problem with that. And maybe if that's what they're trying to show like different families have different things, that's cool.
Yeah.
Also, Grandpa watching Lonely Space Vixens.
Oh yeah, Grandpa. Oh man.
Yeah. Yep.
Jeez.
Yep.
I mean, there were some hidden messages in there from time to time.
Oh, of course. And then, of course, I can't say he's my favorite cartoon dinosaur. He's my second favorite cartoon dinosaur, and that's Reptar.
Reptar.
Because everybody knows my favorite is Rexy.
Yes.
Reptar and Ice.
Reptar and Ice.
Do you remember Reptar and Ice?
I do, yeah.
Hey, look, there's some kids on the ice. What's a dinosaur to do when there's kids on the ice? Quick, somebody call their mom. Oh, my God. So good.
Oh, that's great.
So good. Put this on the list. Greatest camping show of all time. Salute Your Shorts.
I do not remember Salute Your Shorts.
Whoa, buddy. Whoa. You don't remember Salute Your Shorts?
No.
Bro, that's the best.
Salute My Shorts.
You never heard Salute Your Shorts?
No.
You're kidding me. Please tell me you're joking me.
No, I'm not joking you.
Are you trying to end our friendship?
Why?
I can't believe you've never heard of Salute Your Shorts.
What was it about?
It was about a bunch of kids that were at a campground called Camp Onawana. You've never heard of... Oh, my God, dude.
I can't put it on the list, my boy.
Oh, my God. All right. The hell with the Rocco or whatever I was going to show you. You got to see an episode of Salute Your Shorts. It's great stuff.
Okay. I don't
You've
know.
never heard of Salute... Oh, my God.
Never even heard of it, yeah.
This is such a good show.
No, just...
Oh, you're hurting me here.
I'm sorry, my boy.
You're breaking my balls. You're breaking my balls.
Breaking my balls.
The Secret World of Alex Mack, which was about a girl who had a bunch of like radioactive waste hit her once, and then she was able to like morph into weird shit.
Oh, yes, I have heard of it.
Okay. A Show of Hands, never heard of it. Skate TV, never heard of it. Space Cases, never heard of it. Special Delivery, never heard of it. SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, SpongeBob's got to go in there.
Think Fast, which was a 1989 game show. I've heard of it, but I don't remember it. Total Panic, don't remember it. You to You, don't remember it. A Walk in Your Shoes, don't remember it. Wienerville.
Wienerville?
Do you remember Wienerville?
No.
You don't remember Wienerville?
No.
Wienerville with so if Nick Jr. had Face as their mascot, Nickelodeon with Wienerville, their mascot was Stick Stickly. Do you remember Stick Stickly?
Nope.
You don't remember? Oh, dude. Wow. Stick Stickly was literally a fucking popsicle stick with little googly eyes and I think a yellow nose. And someone would just hold him and he'd be like, Stick Stickly here for Nickelodeon. And oh, you don't remember Stick Stickly? You don't remember Stick Stickly? Wow, dude.
Now that you said that, I kind of do. He had googly eyes?
Yeah.
Yes, I
He
do.
had small little googly eyes and like a yellow or red nose.
Yes, I
and
do.
It was just a little popsicle stick.
I do
Stick
remember
Stickly,
him. Yeah.
So-
But that's weird. I can't.
So Wienerville was kind of like almost like another kind of like variety show kind of thing. And it was with one guy. I forgot what his name is. Let me see if I can look it up. Can't believe you don't remember Wienerville. It was created by Mark Wiener.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
yet again, maybe it just didn't have that big of an impact on me compared to like some of these other shows that we listed.
It was a very interesting show. It was it's an audience participation comedy show that focused on Wiener and his puppets and them about making a show. Most few episodes didn't really have a plot or a storyline. The first segment in Prelude to Playland, the viewers would watch cartoons of Mr. Magoo, Honey Halfwitch, The Alvin Show, Gerald McBoing Boing, and Batfink.
Okay.
And there was a bunch of like weird characters and stuff. And it was this guy would have like he'd be like a teacher, but he'd have like this big I don't know, like he'd have like it's almost like a box or something like on his head, and there'd be a face cut out. So he'd be his face, but then there'd be like an outfit underneath it. So he'd look like it was a teacher, but it would I'll have to show you. It was a really weird show.
Got a few things to watch after this.
Oh yeah. Welcome Freshman, don't remember.
No.
What Would You Do? Don't remember.
Oh, I remember What Would You Do?
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was. I think it was pretty much like a spin-off of like a game show. I can't remember exactly.
Well, I mean, I feel like the title says it for itself. What would you do if there was a weird situation or a segment, a moment you were uncomfortable with? What would you do in that moment?
Yeah.
You better put this one on the list because if you've never heard of this, I might smack you.
What's that?
Wild and Crazy Kids. Oh my god.
Wild and Crazy Kids.
Oh my god. Please tell me you're joking me. Wild and Crazy Kids. They used to do a whole bunch of just wild and crazy shit. That was another one of those shows you wanted to be on where they would race cars or they would do crazy stunts or activities or whatever.
I probably have seen it, but I don't remember it.
You should start writing down shows you need to watch. Oh my goodness.
Like I said, I probably watched them when I was a kid. I just don't remember now. You know?
Man. The Wild Thornberrys?
Wild Thornberries, I'm going to put on the list because I do remember that.
You know what's funny about the Wild Thornberries? I refer to Oliver as Donnie.
Yeah.
So they had a jungle baby named Donnie.
Donnie, yeah.
They had Eliza Thornberry, who could talk to animals, who got a power to talk to animals. The mom and dad, and the dad was played by Tim Curry.
Yep.
Were
Nigel, right?
Nigel. Were Nigel and Marianne, I think.
I think so.
Where they did nature shows, and they would travel all over the country, or actually all over the world, in their family RV or whatever, their camper.
Yeah.
And
Didn't they have a sister too? Didn't she have a sister?
Debbie was hot.
Debbie was not a nature person, right?
Debbie was not a nature person. She was just sitting there in her orange T-shirt and green flannel with her ripped jeans and her blonde hair. She was hot. Saying she was hot. Hey, she would have been of age. She was hot. And then, of course, there was their monkey, who is named Darwin.
Darwin, yep.
And Eliza would basically go. So basically, whatever the family was filming that day, they would have an issue with filming whatever animal it was. Eliza would like go through and they would get on some crazy adventure. And then she would run into the animal that they needed. And the animal would be like, "Go away. We don't want you to hurt us." And Eliza was like, No, it's cool. My family wants to film you because blah, 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 blah. And they're just like, "Oh, okay. Total misunderstanding. You're cool." And then just, yeah.
Okay.
We have two more. The Wubbulous World of Dr. Seuss, which I kind of remember.
Kind of, but
And
no.
the last one was You're On, which I don't remember.
Don't remember that one.
So
that was the whole list, huh?
that is the whole list. And while we are thinking of the list and you're reviewing it over, you can start trying to find stuff.
So here's...
Why don't you go off and read to me what we have, and we'll choose whether or not we think it's going to make the list.
All right. Our Real Monsters, I think, is going to make the list.
I think so.
All that, I think, should make the list.
Yeah.
Angry Beavers definitely got to make the list. I think we can take off Are You Afraid of the Dark. While it was a great show,
That's fine.
You know, I loved it, but there's so many others here. I mean,
There's a lot.
yeah.
There's
Cat Dog.
you can get rid of Cat
Yeah,
Dog
all
if you
right,
want.
we'll get rid of Cat Dog. I mean, it was a great show, but Clarissa Explains It All. I would keep that. Double Dare, I want to keep. Doug, keep. Gullah Gullah Island, keep. Hey Arnold, keep. Keenan and Kel, keep. Legends, keep.
You want to keep Legends for now?
Yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah.
Guts,
keep.
Ren and Stimpy.
You know what?
You can get rid of Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah,
It's all right.
as much as I love Ren and Stimpy,
I'm so sorry that we're doing this to you folks, but I don't want to get rid of Ren and Stimpy, but I have to.
Yeah, Rocket Power, I'll keep for you.
You can get rid of Rocket Power. I love Rocket Power, but again, it wasn't really. I would say actually Rocket Power and SpongeBob should both go just because they were late 90s shows. They weren't really
Oh, that's true.
mid 90s shows. I love them both. Don't get me wrong, but I'm willing to I'm okay with it.
All right, if you're willing to do it, then we'll do it.
So
Rock
I'm
over
looking
Ransom.
up the SNCC lineup from right now, like the heyday from 92 when it debuted to 99.
So let's see.
And it was a 2-hour block of programming that started at 8 p.m. and went till 10 o'clock.
We still got to get rid of 4 on here in order to do a top 10.
Get rid of the Wild Thornberries.
All right, get rid of the Wild Thornberry.
I'm not upset if we have to get rid of it.
Do we want to get rid of Gullah Gullah Island too, as much as we love it? I mean, it's up to you.
I would say actually you could probably get. I personally would get rid of Clarissa and I would get rid of Legends.
All right, Clarissa.
I'm okay with Clarissa and getting rid of
Legends.
Legends. So what does that give us now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll be down to 12 now.
3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
So we have to get rid of one more.
One more.
Oh Jesus. I mean, I'll say this. You've got 2 game shows on there. You've got all that on there. Like which one are you okay to part with?
You want to get rid of Double Dare?
We can. I mean, if you think that Guts is the one show that should stay on there over Double Dare, I don't mind keeping Double Dare. Double Dare is not going to be high on my list. But
yeah, well, I mean, as compared to some of these other shows, definitely
I'll tell you
not,
this.
but,
Gullah Gullah probably goes 10th. Only because, like I said, I literally said the word Gullah Gullah Island and we started singing the fucking theme song. We did not miss a beat.
no, we didn't.
So it has to stay on there.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of All Real Monsters. I like it. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad show.
Yeah. I mean, I loved Real Monsters.
And that's fine. If you want to keep it on there, it'll probably be somewhere in the middle, and that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Why don't we start here? What's going to make the list? So are we going to go from 10 to 1 or we want to go from 1 to 10?
Let's go from 10 to 1 and then.
So Gullah Gullah can go here. So I would just put GGI. Make it easier. You want me to draw it?
Yeah, you might be.
At some point. Let me run through this quickly here. There's 2 more segments we got to do, and they're super quick. So SNCC was the like I said, the young adult lineup.
Yeah.
The original lineup from 8 to 10 was Clarissa Explains It All, Roundhouse, or The Adventures of Pete and Pete, depending on what year it was.
Mm-hmm.
The Ren and Stimpy show was on, and then Are You Afraid of the Dark ended the night.
Yeah.
As you got older to like the mid 90s and stuff, Keenan and Kel or Rugrats was the first set on at 7. At 8. At 8:30 was all that. Then you had either Space Cases, The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo, Keenan and Kel, and then you had The Journey of Alan Strange, Kablam, or Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, that was actually right here. It was all the segments are all right here.
Okay.
So, and then the last thing we have to talk about quickly with Nickelodeon from the 90s was Nick at Night. Now, the thing that sucks about Nick at Night now, if you ever see it, is it's all like shows that were on maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like George Lopez is on there. I know Full House was on there for a bit. I know Home Improvement was on there for a bit. Nick at Night for us, when it was on in the 90s, was I Love Lucy, Laverne and Shirley, Happy Days, Bewitched.
Yeah, which they've pretty much moved to the what's that channel now?
TV Land.
TV Land, yeah.
TV Land and other networks. I think Taxi used to be on there too.
Mm-hmm.
And Who's the Boss, whatever. So that all those shows have been moved to TV Land or they've gone to other networks. So that's basically the whole rundown. Now we just have to figure out the top 10. I don't know if we're gonna have time for games because maybe we will.
We'll see.
We're an hour and 9 minutes in. Maybe we can do something quick. We'll figure it out.
All right.
I was gonna do like a theme song thing with you, but it'd probably take forever to load for some of the theme songs and copyright. I don't want to deal with copyright.
That's true. Yeah.
All right. So Gullah Gullah Island will be 10.
Yeah.
That's fine. So you can cross that off the list. I would put. I'll tell you this. I'll level with you. I'll put All Real Monsters at 5. Right in the middle.
I mean, I could go down to a 6.
That's fine. I would just put ARH to make it easier for you. Or there you go. You can erase All Real Monsters. Take that off the list. Are we both in agreement that Rocco is probably going to be 1 or 2?
I agree with that. Was there anything that could go above Rocco? Which I think maybe Rugrats could, either Rugrats or Doug could definitely go. I think those are going to be the top 3.
I think my 3 would probably be Rocco. Do I like Rugrats more than Doug, or do I like Doug more than Rug? Ooh, Jesus, that's tough. I think Rocco definitely goes at the top. Is that an H or is that a K?
It's supposed to be a K, but I can't reach.
It's all right. I got you. I'll just put Rocco at the top.
Yeah.
All right, so Rocco's at the top. So we can you have the thing right there. You can erase. So Rocco's at the top. What do you think would be second? Do you think Doug would go second, or do you think Rugrats would go second?
Oh, that's a tough choice because I like both Doug and Rugrats equally.
And also, are we throwing like all that up in the top 3?
Here's. Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go, you're good.
I was gonna say. So here's what I think. This is me personally. If you want to switch around, I'm cool with it. Rugrats at number 2.
Okay.
I'm thinking Doug at number 3.
Okay.
I'm thinking All That at number 4.
Okay.
And then we'll play the other ones.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I mean that seems reasonable, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Rugrats, Doug, All That.
Rugrats, Doug.
I would say
I think maybe Angry Beavers next.
no, I would probably put Guts right here.
Guts. Okay, I can agree with
Guts
that.
right in the middle.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah,
Guts right in the middle. I would say 7, maybe. Do we have too many? We have one too many.
Oh yeah, we do.
Someone about to get someone. We have all that. I'm okay with. Which one are we okay with getting rid of?
I think.
I mean,
you were excited about Angry Beavers being on there. I think we got to keep Angry Beavers.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, that's how you feel about Our Real Monsters. So
yeah, so we'll put that at 6 and 7. So Our Real Monsters at 6, Angry Beavers at 7.
That's fine. And those two could flip flop. It doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, they're both equally, I think.
Hey Arnold at 8.
I honestly, as much as I enjoyed Hey Arnold, I think that might be the one that gets eliminated.
So what do you think? Double Dare at 8 and Kanan and Kel at 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
With a special shout out to Hey Arnold.
Yeah, with a special shout out to him. I mean, there was a lot of shows that we had to eliminate that we were like, oh, that sucks that we got to eliminate that.
Yeah. I would say, though, if I could keep it on because it was a mid-90s show, Rocket Power would have for sure been my number 1.
Oh, yeah.
It would have gone Rocket Power, Rocco, Rugrats, Doug, probably Guts ahead of all that, then probably Angry Beavers, and then probably Double Dare and the rest of the group there.
Yeah.
And then even, like, if you went to the 2000s, like, I enjoyed Drake and Josh.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of
show.
2000 shows that I'm sure we could, like, early 2000 shows that we could discuss.
Kevin and Kyle.
Yeah. So that pretty much, that's our
So
list.
for those of you who are wondering what Cool Kyle and the Rev Kev have decided here on the Wicked Case podcast for their top 10 Nickelodeon shows with some leeway, we're basically just kind of pinning it in as like mid-90s, like early to mid-90s shows. So Rocket Power and SpongeBob probably would have made the list, but it's kind of like late 90s, so it's kind of in
More
the
early
early 2000s realm, which we might do a segment on that at some point, in which case those shows will be on there. But from 10 to 1, you've got Gullah Gullah Island, simply for the reason that I said there were earlier, as you heard, and we did the theme song. Keenan and Kel at 9, Double Dare at 8, Angry Beavers at 7, All Real Monsters at 6, Nickelodeon Guts at 5, All That at 4, Doug at 3, Rugrats at 2, and the crazy Rocco's Modern Life at number 1, with a special shout out, I would say, to Ren and Stimpy and to Hey Arnold.
Yeah.
And everything else that was on the list. Because if you were good enough to be on the list, we went through 68 shows. We only had maybe 20 on there?
20 shows, yeah.
So
we had to eliminate half of them, and it sucks, but...
That's what ranking lists are all about.
Yeah. I'm actually very happy with this list. I think this is reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to do any games? Do you want to do like a 90s Nickelodeon quiz?
Sure, yeah. I mean, if we can, I would like to try to keep. We're at an hour and 15 right now, so like maybe 15 more minutes. We'll do an hour and a half.
Okay. You'll only pass this quiz if you grew up watching 90s Nick. Or do you want the ultimate 90s Nick? So there's one from Brainfall and there's one from BuzzFeed. Which one do you want? Can you beat your friends at a quiz?
Give me the one from BuzzFeed then.
Okay. I clicked on it, so I must have known. All right. Oh, so here we go. Right off the bat. Where does Rocket Power take place? Oceanside, seaside, ocean shores, or ocean beach?
Ocean Beach? I can't remember. I wasn't a huge, like I said, I liked Rocket Power, but I wasn't a huge Rocket Power fan.
It's ocean shores.
Ocean Shores? Okay.
I'm not going to make you give the wrong answer. I'll help you out here.
Okay.
What tool does Tommy Pickles carry around?
What tool?
What tool does he carry around? What's always in his diaper?
Oh my God.
What does he always use to rig? I'm not even going to say the 4 answers. What does he use to rig the fucking child thing off with? They're always in the playpen. And what does he use to unlatch the playpen?
Oh my God.
Hammer, wrench, screwdriver, or tape measure?
Screwdriver?
It's a screwdriver, yeah.
Okay. Like I said, I haven't seen these shows in so long. I know them.
Who is Doug Funny's love interest? Is it Patty Pepper, Patty Salt, Patty Ketchup, or Patty Mayonnaise?
Patty Mayonnaise. That one
Mayonnaise.
I can get.
Okay. What is the name of Angelica Pickles' doll? Samantha, Erica, Veronica, or Cynthia?
Cynthia.
Cynthia, she's a really cool dancer. Cynthia, boogie to the groove now.
Oh, yeah.
What's the name of Rocco's dog?
Spunky.
Spunky. Which show is this title card from?
Is that Rugrats?
It is Rugrats.
Okay.
Yes. What type of animal is Stimpy?
Stimpy. Cat?
He's a cat.
Okay. Thought so.
True or false? Donnie was adopted into the Thornberry family.
No, that's false.
No, it's true.
It's true?
He was adopted in there. Yeah.
Oh. I don't remember.
I told you he was a jungle boy they found.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Speaking of this one from earlier, whose room is this?
Oh, that's Arnold's.
Arnold's room. Yeah. What sport does Otto Rocket not participate in? Snowboarding, skiing, skateboarding, or roller hockey?
Skiing?
He does not ski. He snowboards.
Okay. I thought so.
What does this trio go by in the show Cat Dog?
Oh.
Are they the Greaser Dogs, the Dog Gang, the Schoolyard Dogs, or the Bulldogs?
Schoolyard?
They're the Greaser Dogs.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Which All Real Monster character is not pictured here?
All right, so let's see. That is Oblina.
Yep.
That is Ickis.
Mm-hmm.
That is Crumb.
Yep. So it's the last one.
The Grumble?
The Grumble, which I believe is their teacher.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, this is a good one. I'm not sure if I remember this one. What state do the Angry Beavers live in? Washington, Oregon, Colorado, or California?
I think I want to say Oregon.
I feel like it's Oregon. It is Oregon.
Okay.
Well, I just thought of because the Oregon State Beavers.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking like all those locations. The only two I could see is Colorado or Oregon.
I would have said Washington or Oregon myself.
Yeah.
What nickname does Arnold's grandpa call him?
Oh.
Young man, short guy, short man, or shorty?
I don't remember that. Shorty, maybe?
Short man.
Short man? Oh, okay.
We have all 14 correct. You were an avid 90s cartoon fan. Chances are you grew up in the 90s and spent countless hours watching these shows over and over again. From Rocco to Rocket Power. You love everything about old school Nickelodeon cartoons. You're always so nostalgic when they rerun late at night. Long live the 90s.
If you hadn't helped me answer that, I probably would have gotten like...
There you go. Let's do this.
Oh, okay.
This is the ultimate quiz. I don't know how ultimate this is going to be, but I'm going to slay this like a dragon.
All right. What was the name of the game show that gave 4 Nickelodeon celebrities a chance to guess the secret talent of the contestant, or they would get slimed?
What is Figure It Out?
Figure it out.
I'm gonna Jeopardy this shit.
It takes forever to go. Okay. What was the Nickelodeon television series that featured a group of teenagers who called themselves the Midnight Society? All right, yeah, go ahead.
What is Are You Afraid of the Dark?
That's all I had to say. Jeez. What Nickelodeon comedy series featured a teen girl who consistently broke the fourth wall to explain all the problems teenagers had back in the 90s?
What is all that?
No. A teen girl who constantly broke the fourth wall.
I know what you're talking about. Talking about Carissa Explains It All.
Yeah.
I thought you were explaining the Ashley segment from all that. My bad.
Oh, it's all good. I could have done. They had 4 answers. I could have given them to you, but
No, that's all right. You don't need to give me the answers. I know.
okay.
I should have known that, and I apologize for not knowing that well off. And
I mean, these questions are so much more easier than the ones you gave me.
what do you mean?
Oh, I could get every single one of these. What controversial animated series on Nicktoons featured a dog and a cat consistently getting into impossible situations? I wonder who that could be.
Would that be Ren and Stimpy?
Yeah.
What is Ren and Stimpy?
What was the Nickelodeon game show that took us to playgrounds for physical competitions between group of kids? Wild and Crazy Kids, Legends of the Hidden Temple, Double Dare, or Nick Arcade?
Playgrounds?
Yeah, it says what was the Nickelodeon game show that took us to playgrounds?
Pretty sure it's Wild and Crazy Kids.
That is correct.
Yeah. I'm like,
That one caught me off guard a little bit
like
too.
Playgrounds.
What was the short-lived comedy series that featured skits about a group of high school students? Salute Your Shorts, Clarissa Explains It All, Hey Dude, or Welcome Freshman?
I'm guessing it's Welcome Freshman.
Yeah, the other ones were definitely not. What was the name of the animated series starring a dog and a cow that were full of suggestive humor and was the inspiration for SpongeBob SquarePants?
Number 1 on our list, Rocco's Modern Life.
That is correct.
See? People can't hate Rocco because if there was no Rocco, there'd be no SpongeBob.
That is true. Of all the preschool shows that aired on Nickelodeon, what was the most popular one starring a dog that helped Steve solve a mystery?
Blue's Clues.
Blue's Clues.
It's like we went through and we studied for a test, and now we know all of the answers.
Yeah. What was the name of the television series that took viewers on a Western adventure to a ranch and followed the teenagers working there for the summer?
What is Hey Dude?
That is correct. And the last question. What was the live-action series that featured the many hilarious summer camp pranks and misadventures of a group of
What
friends?
is Salute Your Shorts?
Hey, look at that. You got 10 out of 10.
I'm smart. I'm wicked smart.
90 smart.
I'm 90 smarts.
I feel like we should do this all the time. We should do all the information first and then take quizzes after so that way we can get all the answers right and feel
Is
smart.
that how I would have succeeded in school if I would have read all the information first?
Who would have thought?
Wow. That is, listen. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I think that's the end of our show, right? We had anything to talk about?
No, I mean, we pretty much covered the quick Bruins news I needed to talk about, and we did the 90s stuff, and we're almost an hour and a half deep, so
Yeah.
I think the people have got their 90s content, and they're good to go.
All right. So now we told you at the end of the show we were going to provide you with the information, so here we go.
I'm going to let you do it because I feel like I just did like 99% of the talking during the 90s segment.
No, I think we shared. I mean, you did more of it, but
All right, I won't say 99, like 75.
like 70, maybe 65.
70.
We'll see.
Do you want to read this whole promo, or do you want me to read the promo? You have the soothing voice, so I feel like people would like your voice better than mine.
I think people like our voices equally.
I think yours is more likable than mine.
No, that's not true. Don't put yourself down. You have a very good voice, sir.
Thank you.
So we are the Wicked Case Podcast. We're streaming on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn.
D's nuts.
D's nuts. Just had to throw that in there, huh?
You did it to me.
I wasn't even going to read Deezer.
That's not gonna be the new Rickroll in the show.
Oh,
We're just gonna be reading the cue card down, and you're gonna be like Apple Podcast. D's not. Someone just gonna scream it. I'm sorry. Continue.
Basically, I was gonna say, and wherever you can get all major podcasts, we are also on YouTube. We have a phone number.
Audio only.
Audio only
For
right
now.
as of right now.
the room looks a little bit better than it did before, and once it kind of comes along, and or maybe if you get your own place and you've got an area.
Well, I mean, if there's a camera pointing this way, we might be able to, because now we got this, whereas before we were this way, so we would have seen the bed. So we might be able to get away with it. We'll see. What?
Nothing.
Oh boy.
Nothing. Let's just say
Wow.
let's just say the floor creaked.
Oh, okay, yeah. Boy, this is going off fast.
It's fine. Just keep going.
We have a phone number for you to call us at. It is 774-764-9074. Leave a voicemail. We'll probably play it on air. Most likely, we'll screen it first, but it most likely be on air.
I think it'll be okay. Email.
Email.
thewickedks@gmail.com.
That's
Website, www.thewickedks.com. Socials, we have Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitter at The Wicked K's.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to know from us. We'll have business cards in soon, and you'll have a QR code on it. So if you want to know more about us, we can just hand you our business card. And if you see us in the street, let us know.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know how you'd see us because you don't really know what we look like.
No, but I mean...
Actually, no, I take that back. You do know what we look like because if you go onto our Twitter page, the header is a picture of us.
Yeah.
From your wedding.
That is true.
By the way, the first picture is cool. That other picture is weird.
Which one?
Where the one's like my head is down and your head's like up. And I was like, that's such a weird picture.
I was trying... I didn't have enough room to put...
No, it's okay. It's all right. I thought about it the other day. I said, you know what would have been a great header picture? The two of us at Fenway fucking Park. That would have been a great picture to have.
Yeah, what about?
I will make sure when we go to Gillette Stadium that we have a good picture of the two of us in front of Gillette Stadium, hopefully with the name of the stadium behind us. That can be one of our background pictures.
That would be nice.
And I'll do the same thing when we go to TD Garden.
Ooh, there you go. That sounds good.
So, until then, thank you for listening to our 90s content. In the coming weeks, probably, I would say in like maybe 2 weeks' time or so, it'll be close to football season, so that's when I'll drop my NFL season predictions or where I think the league's going to end up, and I'll even go as far as who's going to win the Super Bowl.
Okay, that's interesting.
But until then, thank you for listening. We appreciate all of your support around the globe. Please continue to listen. Tell your friends. And until then, peace and love all.
Let's get wicked.